No one knows what started the war, but the first records only state that for a few hours, the surface of our world glowed like the sun. For the better part of almost half a century, humanity stayed underground, recovering from the war. The people who were called crazy, those who proclaimed the end of the world was coming, and were laughed at. Those who built bunkers were the ones who survived. Upon leaving the underground, when the detectors said it was safe, they came up for short periods, slowly connecting with each other and rebuilding their society the best they could. After 20 years of brief excursions onto the surface, humanity re-emerged, and one of the largest groups formed a government known as the Human Emergency Coalition, or the HEC for short. As the HEC grew and expanded into new territory, they discovered more survivors of humanity and made them join the HEC, either willingly or by force. After the first significant conflict the HEC dealt with, the first HEC leader stated the following:
"No human can refuse us. We must have all of humanity under one banner to avoid the war that almost destroyed our world. That banner will be the HEC, and we will ensure humanity takes its rightful place in the world, if not the universe."
With great zeal and renewed purpose, the HEC spread across not just any continent, but the entire globe. All were falling before their might. Those the HEC saw as too religious, too liberal in their goals, those who thought that personal freedom was more important than the goals of the whole human race. All were not. All were but ash blown in the wind before the fires that burned in the hearts of all the members of the HEC. As the HEC spread, a discovery deemed terrible by the HEC was made. Humanity was now not the only intelligent race in the world. This mutated monkey race, which looked to be an evolutionary branch of orangutans, was found and named the helots. While the helots were stronger physically than humans and able to reproduce quickly, they could not form any lasting society due to being mentally less developed and unable to control their primal urges. Also, many members of the HEC saw them as disgusting in appearance, seeing them best suited for manual labor. So the HEC proposed that this new intelligent race be used as laborers and put them to jobs that suited them best. That way, humanity could focus on the sciences and social aspects of rebuilding society.
The helots are physically impressive specimens, but their intellectual capabilities are, at best, equal to that of a small human child. They often fight amongst themselves as they do other species. We humans overcame their physical abilities with our technological might, bringing them to kneel under us. We still must be cautious with them, and we will restrict their development and make sure they serve humanity, so that we will never find ourselves being forced to serve them.
By being forced to focus on rebuilding society and scientific progress, the HEC saw religion as more of a distraction to the rebuilding process and concentrated heavily on their scientific endeavors.
While religion can be a useful tool, we must understand it is just that, a tool. We cannot allow ideological doctrine from any religion from the past to override our purpose in bringing humanity back to what is our proper place in the galaxy.
With the death of the first leader of the HEC from old age, humanity faced a new crossroad. Who would continue to lead humanity to the future they were promised? A family who originally hailed from what was once known as Italy stepped forward, rising above the rest in ability and ambition to lead the HEC. Upon taking control of the HEC, the head of their family, Tiberius Domitia, stood before the HEC assembly and stated the following:
"The Human Emergency Coalition has worked long and hard to rebuild our world, but now we need a single hand, a single voice to direct the chorus that is humanity. I will be that voice and lead our people to a bright future once promised by the HEC. The leader who made the HEC great, the first leader, to form the assembly and lead our people. Now, it is time for the assembly to take its role as advisors and let my voice echo forth through the expanse of the universe. I know the path humanity must take to lead us to a new golden age and reclaim our right as humans and become the true masters of Terra.
The assembly, who once worked closely with the first HEC leader, almost unanimously elected Tiberius Domitia as their leader. Tiberius Domitia first set out to rework the structures of the HEC into a new governmental body, the Terran Supremacy. He took the title of Overlord and set himself as the undisputed leader of the Supremacy. The rest of his family formed around him and quickly worked to build a power base for their entire family, becoming the imperial family of the Terran Supremacy. The assembly voiced a few concerns, but was quickly silenced by the Domitia family. The assembly now takes on an advisory role to the Overlord. The family member selected to replace the Overlord quickly became known as the Deputy Overlord, whose duties required them to oversee the assembly, making sure that they stay on task for the betterment of humanity and the Terran Supremacy. With the Domitia family firmly in control of the Supremacy, humanity moved forward technologically. With many generations under the Domitia family, humanity learned to be comfortable with imperial rule. As the ages went on, humanity gained the ability of not only spaceflight, but also the first faster-than-light ships, which were constructed in 2199, ready to go forth into the galaxy right after the new year 2200 AHE. Once Overlord Octavia Domitia christened the ships, she turned to the crowd and gave the following speech.
The promise of my ancestor, the great Overlord Tiberius Domitia, has now been fulfilled. We have succeeded in regaining all that was lost. Now I make a new promise, a new vow. We shall not only extend our reach to just the stars near us, we shall extend them to the greater galaxy beyond. All who stand against us shall be brought to their knees before Terran might. Every wonder shall be utilized for our glory. Every living thing in this galaxy shall serve the Terran Supremacy, and nothing will stop us from achieving our goals. Come with me, Terrans, and let us claim the galaxy that is rightfully ours.
The crowd cheered wildly at her speech, fermenting her position as Overlord of the Terran Supremacy. Not long after her speech, Overlord Octavia Domitia sat in the grand chamber of the Terran Supremacy, the room adorned with symbols of the human race's power and unity. She stood at a long, polished black marble table, flanked by her advisors. As they gathered to discuss the ambitious directive to expand into the galaxy, the air buzzed with anticipation.
Grand Chamber of the Terran Supremacy, Imperial Palace, date December 28th, 2199.
Today marks a monumental step for the Terran Supremacy. Our ancestors fought to reclaim our rightful place, and now we will extend our dominion beyond the stars. Tell me, Counselor Eric, how do we ensure our expansion is both swift and absolute?
Overlord, our technological advancements have placed us on the brink of a new era. However, we must prepare for resistance. The helots, while helpful, may prove unpredictable. We should consider reinforcing our outposts and ensuring they are loyal to our cause.
A valid point. The helots possess strength, but they lack the discipline we require. If they become unruly, it could jeopardize our mission. I trust you to implement a strategy that utilizes their physical capabilities while ensuring they remain under our control.
Of course, Overlord. Additionally, we should consider our communication strategy. As we venture further, we must project an image of strength and unity. We cannot allow any whispers of dissent to spread among our established colonies.
Our message must be clear. All who oppose us will be met with swift retribution. We will not only claim territory, but also the hearts and minds of those we encounter. Counselor Vivia, what are your thoughts on our approach to potential new civilizations?
Overlord, while we must assert our dominance, we should also gauge the potential for alliances. There may be civilizations that share our vision of order and progress. They could bolster our ranks, contributing to our technological and military might.
An interesting proposition. However, we must tread carefully. History has taught us that alliances can be as perilous as they are beneficial. I want no deviation from our mission of supremacy. If they do not serve us, they will be made to.
Perhaps we can utilize diplomacy as a facade while strengthening our forces in the background. This dual approach would keep our adversaries guessing about our true intentions.
Clever, Counselor. Let us wield diplomacy as a weapon while our ships prepare for conquest. As we push forth into the galaxy, we must also ensure our people remain resolute and united. The ideals of the HEC must not fade. They must evolve into a fervor for expansion and domination.
I will draft a manifesto outlining our vision for the future, one that rekindles the passion for our supremacy and the unity of our people.
Good. Let our citizens know that we are not merely expanding, but reclaiming what is inherently ours. Counselors, prepare for the council meeting. Our first targets in the galaxy will be those who defy our ambitions. We will make an example of them.
They will serve as a warning to all who dare resist the Terran Supremacy.
Together we will seize the stars, and when we do, let the galaxy remember the name of Domatia and the Terran Supremacy. Now, let's set a course. The galaxy awaits.
I see you've lingered after the video has concluded. Are you seeking further insight? Does your curiosity compel you to delve deeper? Such inquiries can lead one into dangerous territory. Or perhaps they could open the door to a position among us. Join the Odin's Watch and discover all the knowledge you desire. Remember, our eye never blinks, our sight never ends. We see all, we know all. If you are ready to align with our cause, follow the communication frequency below. Alternatively, if you prefer to serve the Supremacy through the Assembly members can sign up using the form provided below. Further instructions are outlined below for those aspiring to ascend to senior membership within the Assembly. Embrace your potential and become part of our vision for humanity's supremacy in the galaxy.